Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. Bringing an update on Mahogany Jackson's case. 6 out of the 8 suspects charged in her demise, their charges has been reduced and some even dropped. Where the prosecutors say that Mahogany Jackson knew before her demise that it was going to happen because one of them was heard, she ain't going nowhere before brutally taking her out, and that it was Francis Harris who was the one that pulled the trigger, as well as new details unfolded during the preliminary hearing where they were told the reason for the altercation was over money and a pow pow that she thought Brandon Pope stole from her throughout the day. At some point throughout the day, she even made him strip. And when he didn't have it, well, we all know what happened after that. Take a listen.
Details in the Mahogany Jackson, 6 of the 8 suspects in court today. Thank you so much for joining us here at 6. I'm Brittany Decker.
I'm Guy Rawlings. We've been following the Mahogany Jackson case. WVTM 13's Aaron Llewellyn, live and local in Birmingham tonight outside the Jefferson County Courthouse. A lot of the details too gruesome to talk about, Aaron.
Yeah, Guy, Brittany, the hearing today lasted for about 3 hours, and the legal teams went through the details of what led up to Mahogany Jackson's and even uncovered some new details about her final moments, and some of it was too unbearable for her family to hear. Now, today we know that the defense attorneys claim that Jackson was at one of the suspects' house, Brandon Pope, and questioned him about she says was stolen and money that was also stolen from her purse at some point throughout the day. She even made him strip to prove he didn't have it. Now, Pope told Harris to do something to her because she made him strip. Now, the detectives working the case say Jackson was assaulted multiple times throughout the time she was being held against her will. Now, both Jackson and some of the suspects' families were in the courtroom today for the detailed hearing, some of it becoming emotional. Now, District Attorney Danny Carr says her family might be disappointed some of the charges were reduced or thrown out, but they're one step closer to justice.
They understand the circumstances, but they also appreciate what we have in front of us, and they understand that this is a marathon and not a sprint. There's still a lot of work ahead of us, and we'll be there with them every step of the way and make sure that there's accountability.
Now, later in the day before Jackson, she was put in Harris's car, and he, Pope, and McDowell took her to clean Harris's car out. Even though the defense claims Harris said they were taking her back to her house, that's when Harris is accused of pulling the trigger and Jackson in the back of the head. Now, District Attorney Danny Carr calls this one of the most gruesome he's ever seen.
Since I've been in this office, I've had some, yes. Some of y'all may be, I was young too at the time, but the Thanksgiving at the Airport Inn Hotel, where 3 people were brutally murdered in the Airport Inn Hotel on Thanksgiving morning. I actually handled that case and tried it myself. That was a very brutal case. This one, unlike that one, the brutality kind of played itself out in real time because it's video. There's a video involved.
Now, this case is still being investigated, so new details could emerge in the coming days. And the things that are still being investigated are kits and ballistic results. Now, the 2 other suspects in this case are expected to be back in court for the same hearing on Monday.
6 of the 8 defendants in the kidnapping of 20-year-old Mahogany Jackson appeared in court today in Birmingham for a preliminary hearing. Prosecutors displayed still images from videos taken while Jackson was held against her will. ABC 3340's Gracie Johnson was in the courtroom today. And Gracie, some of the defendants' charges were reduced and even dropped.
Muriel, based on testimony and evidence that was presented during the preliminary hearing, Judge William Bell found probable cause for the defendants to be bound over for grand jury consideration. But like you said, some of the charges were reduced. Brandon Pope, Jeremiah McDowell, Francis Harris, Tasia Lewis, Giovanni Clapp, and Ariana Robinson were all in court Wednesday for the preliminary hearing. The prosecution presented graphic screenshots from videos. All of these were taken while Mahogany Jackson was held against her will before she was murdered. The photos depicted Mahogany being slapped, punched, stripped nude, and forced to perform sexual acts while held at gunpoint. Jefferson County District Attorney Danny Carr discussed the nature of the videos.
Sheer brutality. the barbaric nature of it. You can't substitute that by just still photos.
There are 8 videos total, initially brought forward to law enforcement by an acquaintance who was able to provide copies of some of the videos and direct investigators to Jackson's. Investigators discovered 3 additional videos late Tuesday night. All 8 of the defendants are seen in a portion of at least one of the videos. Pope, McDowell, and Harris were initially charged with 2 counts each of capital murder. Pope and McDowell's capital charge on the basis of sodomy were dropped. Harris's 2 counts of capital both carried over. Lewis and Clapp were each charged with single felony charges and assault in the 2nd degree. Clapp's assault charge was reduced to 3rd degree assault, which is a misdemeanor. Lewis's assault charge was bound over. Robinson was present in court today, yet her felony charge was bound over by another judge. Now, while some of the charges today were dropped or reduced, Judge Bell said that he made it clear that these charges can be brought back at any time by a grand jury.
I have to admit, I am a bit disappointed that some of their charges have been reduced. And I think it's because they all singing like canaries. Well, at least we know one of them is, because 6 of the videos that was given to the detectives was from one of the acquaintances, quote unquote, they said. So it could only be one out of the 8 of them, right? Which is probably the one who actually texted her mom and said, "Help, I've been kidnapped," allegedly. Because remember, originally that's what they said, that it wasn't not Mahogany that texted her mom, that it was the 18-year-old. But we'll see. I'm sure it's all going to come out if they end up going to trial. But I wanted to bring this update as promised, and I will continue to stay on top of Mahogany Jackson's case as it continues to unfold. With that said, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you already haven't. And don't forget to smash that notification bell so you won't miss out on my next video. Stay blessed. Peace.